My niece recently pointed me to a Facebook post made by a high school graduate colleague of mine back in 1969. And she is a relative of my wife's, and she is one bright girl. And she set up this post with instructions about a direct ancestor of my wife's. And when you look at the posts, and any of us that have used Facebook know we have to really limit our space when we make a post, or it absolutely fills the page up. And that's what Julie did here. But Julie had a very good reason for setting this up the way she did, because when you blow this up and select on a column like her instructions say, look how clearly this image has been scanned. I'm jealous. I wish I had your scanner, Julie. So I'm going back here. And the format she used was the perfect setup to use an OCR program to convert this to text. And we can put it in a Word document. Thank you again, Julie. But all this video is going to show us how to get this great big long column here to fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper using Inkscape. So let's go back here and let's open up Inkscape. And I'm running on a Linux box because I don't know how to make videos on Windows. In fact, I don't know how to do much of anything on Windows. So, first thing you do, this does work the same on Windows, the procedure I'm showing you. We go to File, Document Properties, and we set this up for our particular printer, or however you want it displayed. So I'm going to set it up to fit it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I want it in portrait mode. I want it tall and skinny. And I want my display units to be in inches, because I don't know what a millimeter is. And there's one last thing you have to do, and make sure you do this. I've made this video 5 different times forgetting to do this particular option. You click on background color and make sure this setting is set to 255, and you do that by just grabbing that point right there and dragging it. Drag it all the way to the right. No matter what background color you might choose, make sure that's dragged to 255. Close that out, and we're ready. So we can close this window, and we're ready to rock and roll. So now then, I'm going to hit the minus key on the keyboard to shrink this down so we can see our page. And there's our 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So now let's go back to the Facebook post. And let's click on the first column like Julie instructs us to do up here. And there's a nice, clearly scanned document. So let's right-click on that, copy image, Shift-Tab to get back to Inkscape, Control-V to paste it in. And let's convert the units to inches right off the bat. And notice this particular object is 20 inches high. So now what we want to do is rescale that to where it's about 10 inches high. So we'll have a little top and bottom margin on our paper. So we go to Object, Transform, Scale, and we want this in inches. Scale proportionally, the first thing you do here. And then we change this. I'm going to make it 10 inches. Remember that 10 inches. We want to make all of our conversions the same. hit the enter key. Don't click apply yet, hit the enter key. Now click the apply button and look what happens. So now all we gotta do is click on that object and drag it somewhere in the page, and look how nicely that fits in the page. Now then, let's go back to Julie's Facebook posts. We'll go back and click on the second column. Do exactly the same thing again. Right click, copy image, shift tab to get back to Inkscape, Control V. And there's the second column. And notice our transform docket is still up here. So all we had to do, since scale proportional is already checked, change that to 10. Hit the enter key. And don't forget to hit the enter key first. It keeps everything proportional. Drag it down. Now watch what this magic program does. Corner to corner match. And it aligns perfectly. Come back to Julie's Facebook page, hit the back button, and click on the third column just like she said to do. Right click, copy image, shift tab to get to Inkscape, Control V to paste it. There's the third column. Do the same thing again. Make that 10. Don't forget to hit the enter key. Apply. Drag it to where we have the corner fit. So we're just about done. All we have to do is center this on our page, and we do that with hitting Control A to select everything and just dragging the entire document to the center of the page. That looks like it's centered pretty well. So let's now then we can close this docket and we're ready to export. So we already have it here, but I'm going through the entire step. File, export to ping image, page. Click that page button. Because it went to a lot of work to set our page up correctly. Double check yourself to make sure the X0, Y0 parameters are zeros. And everything else 8.5 by 11 and the units are inches. That looks great. Now personally, I don't touch anything down here in the image size because Inkscape's smarter than me when it comes to exporting images. Now then, we're ready to export it. The first thing we have to do is tell Inkscape where to take it. So I'm going to take it to a folder in my pictures directory called Julie Riker. And I always set up an empty folder like this before I start just to keep things organized. And I'm going to notice how it comes up here. And I think Windows makes it work a little bit harder than Linux in renaming this file. But I'm going to type Harold's. I guess I have to work on Linux too. Keep the PNG. Keep the .png. Don't erase that. Then erase everything to the left and just type in whatever you want to type for the file name. And that looks good. We click Save. And then you come up to the file name line here and double check yourself before you hit the last button. And in Windows that would be C: blah blah blah, whatever Windows has. But in Linux that's exactly how I want it set up, so I'm going to click the export button. Now I'm going to my file browser and open my Julie Riker folder. And there's the file, Harold Allison's article.png. Now I'm going to double click on this just to make sure it turned out good. And there it is. And when you print this out, you'll be amazed how clear it looks. And that's all there is to it.